What is going on, everybody? Back at you again with another episode in this edition of this Move the Chains podcast with your man and the host of this podcast, Sam McIntyre. We're doing well today on this Friday. Hell yeah, brother, Friday! I hope we're doing well today. It's a little late posting this pod, but I wanted to do my post-game reaction to the Broncos-Saints game in New Orleans last night, Drew Brees' night, and then Sean Payton came back doing some crazy shit. Wanted to get my reactions on that, both sides of the story. And then I know I brought up Drake Maye last week, but I really was impressed with him Sunday, and I'll dive in a little bit into that. So I wanted to start with the game last night, which was a snore. I couldn't believe I watched it, but I got to post this stuff. I got to post my reaction because I know you guys like watching my content. So I figured I'd hop on here and give you guys my little 2 cents on it. So from the Broncos side of it, to me, that was a good win last night. Now, they didn't ask Bo to do a lot. He's still learning. It's a project that's going to take a while. With Sean Payton, he's a little intense. He's a little bit of Gruden. He's going to get on you a little bit. He demands a lot. Puts a lot on his plate mentally in terms of game plan and audibles and all this stuff, protections and shifts. A lot asked on the table for this young quarterback. Listen, before the draft, I kind of was like iffy on Bo Nix. Like, I liked him, but I didn't. I saw him at Auburn, and I'm like, I don't know. Then he went to Oregon, he was balling. I'm like, okay, maybe. There's some Garoppolo, there's some Derek Carr in him. Okay, maybe. Serviceable. Last night, to me, he kind of was a little jittery. And it happens. I get it. Saints got a pretty good defense. Lately, they have not. And Saints I think they're just a free-for-all right now. And I'll get to them in a second. But Denver, to me, and crazy, here we go. I'm looking up this morning. I know it's early. I'm not trying to jump the gun here. But they're 4-3. Now, do I think they're a playoff team? No, I do not. Last night, to me, was more an indicative of the Saints throwing out whatever they can. They got so many guys on injuries right now. Their quarterback, Olave's out. Shaheed's out. It's just a mess. And I just think they're kind of heading to nowhere fast. But Denver, to me, they look good last night. Their run games look good. Their offensive line looked really good last night, neutralizing that, really good pass rush in New Orleans with Cam Jordan, obviously, who's been a pro, with Sheldon Rankins inside. They got some dudes on that, Saints defense. It's really good. So I'm not going to take too much away from that win last night. It was an ugly football game. If you told me before the year started it was Bo Nix versus Derek Carr, I'd be like, okay, cool, this is a game. Could be high scoring, kind of, slow kind of game. But they had Spencer Rattler last night, and that was kind of a snore. God help us. So I think Denver moving forward, there's some positives to take from this. They can run the football. They continue to run the football. This team could go places. Now, are they going to be the Chiefs? I do not. I understand Mahomes is daddy in that division. And I've seen it first twice with my own 2 eyes with the Raiders, obviously. But, excuse me, I think the Broncos, to me, if I'm a team right now that's got a future, I want it to be Denver right now. Because their receivers aren't great. He's not putting up the numbers like the Caleb and Jaden is, because those guys have great playmakers around him. Now, I'm not saying Denver's got shitty weapons. They're all right. They're not bad. Could use more of our tight ends, Dolchich and all those guys. But they're serviceable. Not bad. I like the running back. I love the ACN, Notre Dame guy. And Javonte Williams, obviously, from Carolina, has been an absolute stud when he's been on the field. He's been banged up and hurt a little bit. But he's a really solid back. So I think there's a lot of good things from Denver you can take away from last night. But it's still a project. Bo, sometimes, to me, when I watch him, his feet aren't set. Mechanically, for a guy that's had a lot of starts, I'm kind of disappointed a little bit. Got to do a little bit better. And he'll get better. I don't doubt he will. Good size, fits the bill. But don't worry. I don't want you to think it's a Will Levis thing where, again, I'm holding on, but I'm out. I'm about out on him. I know I've been a fan of his, but I don't know. Throwing for 97 yards last week against the Colts. Jesus Christ, I'm out, man. That was a little side topic. But I wanted to hop on New Orleans, though. New Orleans, to me, I put 2 words: season's over. It's a shame because this team has a lot of good players, but they're an older roster. My prediction, to me, when everybody follows me, said before the year started, I said, okay, they're going to be a third place team in this division. Tampa's got a bunch of good players. They got guys on the Super Bowl. Guys that won Super Bowls with when Brady was there a couple years ago with the Chiefs, against the Chiefs, excuse me, in Tampa, in their own stadium. Atlanta's got Kirk Cousins, who, we could say what we want to bitch about him, is not a lot of playoff experience, but he's been there. He's been in this league a long time, seen some shit that he knows. So, from that standpoint, I agree. And I said New Orleans is going to be, they're better than Carolina, because Carolina's just a mess right now. It's a circus show act. They got one more year, I think, another year to kind of figure shit out. Although they have been competitive lately, I just think New Orleans is better well run than Carolina right now. And this is not, if this job was open tomorrow, I would take the Saints job. Why not? It's a decent, you got a great city, fans back you. Derek Carr, he comes back, maybe you got something, I don't know. Your weapons are there, your offensive line's pretty good. Kubiak obviously can call plays. They were good last night. I mean, I know Rattler got sacked a bunch, and they're kind of rolling out whatever they can at receiver. Still got Alvin Kamara, who's a stud. So there's some pieces there with the Saints, and defensively, listen, Tyrann Mathieu dropped that ball last night. Oh, my God. What are you doing, dude? It's just a killer. But I also think last night showed me that Dennis Allen's on his way out. And I would not be shocked if tomorrow, or, excuse my phrase, but maybe Sunday morning or Monday afternoon, throughout the day, I get a call, I get a text, I get an Apple Watch alert, Dennis Allen's been fired. Now, would I take this job? Yes, to a degree. I just think there's a lot you got to look at with New Orleans. They're an older roster, a lot of guys that are a lot of tread on those tires. Now, the good news is they got a lot of young skill players, and their offensive line's a little bit better. You still got Ramczyk repping the Wisconsin, so you got some players there. But that was bad last night. And this team, the last 5 weeks, is just free fall. I don't know what's going on. Derek Carr getting hurt. I don't know what it is. But they just have not looked the same from those first 2 weeks where they were bludgeoning people. Avalanche galore. 91 points, fourth highest NFL history, by the way, who didn't know that stat. So there's just a lot going on. But you know what? You got to compete, and I'm with you. But those guys last night, I saw quit. And their tackling wasn't good. I mean, they had big runs. Denver did. And they can't run the football, and Denver got 200 yards rushing last night. That's on Dennis Allen. He's supposed to be some defensive guy. And, Sean Payton was trolling him last night. He comes in the stadium wearing a Bronco thing. Listen, it was Drew Brees' night. I get it. But to me last night, the Saints they got a long way to go. And I think their season's over. It's shot. Again, I think this will be competitive enough to get 7 wins, but I highly doubt it, man. I think this coach is on its way out. We just got to see. But it does not look good. Derek Carr, come back soon, brother, because this offense, I don't care who you put back there, it does not look right. Clint Kubiak, I'm figuring out. His scheme's getting figured out in this league. It's Copcat League, man. That first 2 weeks, they were on that outside zone. What I've read about, and I've heard from Mike Lombardi, who covered the league for a long time, you run that stretch zone shit. You play the edges. You force everything back inside on run plays, and then the play action game's all out of whack, and they're not a draft back pass team. Derek Carr, when he was humming, 2019, I think Trent Dilfer mentioned this, and I trust Trent Dilfer when it comes to quarterbacks and all this kind of stuff. Derek Carr was a run action guy. And they were working with it when he was in with the Raiders that last year in Oakland. And I saw firsthand how that was working. I saw him in Indianapolis working. I saw him against the Lions. I saw Derek do this. Now, I still think they could get this right, but this year I think is just a loss. So I wanted to talk last week. I know I brought up Drake Maye starting and the tribulations and trials he was going to have to overcome in New England. I said it before the draft, and I said it before it start. This New England team has just got nothing. I mean, good God, man. I said this 5 times. They gave him nothing. I mean, what trade pieces could you get right now? Hunter Henry used to be, but no. He's solid, but I'm not staying up at night. Stevenson's a really solid running back, but he got hurt. I don't know how long that is. Drake Maye, listen, he got his ass beat. I mean, Will Anderson's Houston's defense is elite. And I know the game was garbage time, and he put up all those stats. I get all that. But I saw a kid take shot after shot after shot. That great deep ball, the Booty. I can't, Bote, whatever the fuck his name is. He hit that deep shot. That was a beautiful throw. That's why we love Drake Maye. And the argument before that draft was beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Because I look at him and I go, there's traits of Justin Herbert. I see the size, the arm, the big. You see it. Now, can you put it all together and make it a finished product? And if I'm New England, that's promise right there. There's a lot of great things to take away from that. He can move. He gave that offense juice and rhythm, and that stadium felt alive. You know, last year it just felt dead for a couple of years there after Tom Brady left. So, you know, this weekend's going to be interesting. Sunday morning, 9:30, London, Jags, Patriots. Actually, I know it's a shit game, and I know I picked Jacksonville to win in my picks, but I got to tell you, I'm kind of intrigued to watch it. Two quarterbacks kind of fighting. Trevor Lawrence obviously has got a lot more he's got to fix. And Drake Maye's not far. Now, I think Drake Maye, you know, could be a really good quarterback, and I think New England this offseason is going to have a lot of money. They're going to be shitty. But my advice would just go get players. Go get offensive skill players. You need juice on offense. You are going up against the Jets have juice. Miami, if whatever they do at quarterback, but they got players. You know, Kofort's a little bit overrated, but got players. Kansas City, Baltimore's got weapons. Cincinnati, Cleveland, if they get their quarterback situation right. Lord, I was thinking about this at the gym tonight. That roster's really, really good, but they had to miss, you know, Deshaun Watson, Harvey Weinstein, the fucking quarterback. Go have a P. Diddy party for crying out loud. That's where he's going. So, New England better do something because you can't just ruin this kid's development. You can't. So, I was really fascinated last week with Drake Maye. So, that's all I wanted to get on here tonight and tell you guys about. I hope you guys do like, subscribe, share my content. And there'll be some more videos coming out soon. And hope you guys have a great night.